Hi guys, I'm in the car. I'm still able to drive my car. I had a neck injury. I don't know if I talked about that. I think I did. Sorry, danke. And I'm still able to drive my car because it's a manual. So anyway, I want to talk about light beings and empath and starseeds. You guys have to be very careful with who you spend your time with, because you are full of light and evil people want that. That's what the narcissist empath situation is, and even the empath and psychopath combination. That's for us to empower ourselves. And it can be quite dangerous when people know about your light and about and are very dark and work with dark energy and work with dark magic even. I will talk about it in another video on how it affected me. Okay. And the thing is that we already know. We come here, we're really sensitive, we're very intuitive and sensitive and empathic. We wonder what on earth people are doing by hurting animals and other people, right? So we have to be careful because people feed on our light. And I was always careful with what I was saying when it comes to, because people always talk about what do they say? Wait, that's still that is still conditioned, or that's still separation kind of thinking. But that's the truth. There is evil on this earth, and if you are not careful, people will hurt you and people will harm you, especially with psychopath, if you speak up for yourself and they know about black magic. I'm convinced I got cursed, and I never believed in such things. I never believed that this could harm me as much as it did, and it's really dangerous. And we have to be careful because we are of light, we are of empathy, we are of love, and people sometimes feed on that without actually doing anything with it, but using it as energy and fuel for themselves. But they don't use it to give back. They just take, right? There are people who just take. And I wouldn't consider myself a huge someone who would always give to other people, but energetically I was giving. I think I was always focusing on giving to others in a way, if I felt like doing so. I'm a traveler, so I would travel and then give my energy and be of service in energetic ways, giving compliments, right? It's not always about the physical actual work that gives you good karma, but I don't know about my karma this time. So I want to warn you, because the darkness is really strong, especially if they consider themselves spiritual but use dark in terms of feeding on you, feeding off of you. An empath have to be, we know that intuitively who's good for our energy, right? And I urge you right now really, really strongly to, if you have guides, and if you have your gut, and if you have intuition, listen to that. And if it's and if you have entities who want you to suffer and who want you to because I figured I have an entity, probably for lifetimes, that wants me to, that feels good when I'm misunderstood, that feels good when I'm feel judged and blamed and cursed and punished. I have an entity that kept me from being active and from being proactive and from being doing things in the world I really wanted to do, and I'm not able of doing them anymore. Which is painful, but I figured that there was this entity that was with me for probably lifetimes, and it wanted me to suffer and it wanted me to feel punished because this is all it knew. And I don't know if it's a soul or if it's just a fracture of my soul that is like not part of me anymore. Whatever it is, it feeds off that energy of being misunderstood, being blamed, being judged, and being punished. And it's really ugly because you keep suffering in life and you keep trying to do your best to go into the world, to make the next step, to have a to-do list, to do those things, and you're actually full of potential, full of light, full of possibilities, and life is full of possibilities, and you have everything you need, all your needs are met, and there's still this one thing that like drains you and makes you feel sluggish and tired and drained and exhausted. And I didn't know about entities until now, until I started researching. And these are actually all the symptoms of having entity attachment, like feeling not just tired but incredibly drained and sluggish and tired and exhausted, like really, really, truly exhausted. And I had all that, but I didn't know. And I wasn't aware. And then I wasn't aware, and then I became aware, and I thought like, wow, there's this one entity. Like, even though I want to succeed, I want to make money, I want to work, I want to have a 9-to-5 even, or like work on my own and be independent, I want all these things, but there's this one entity that keeps me from succeeding. So if you have that one entity and you surround yourself with people who are not good for you, people who really work on the dark side, because that's the truth of, that's the fact of what's going on earth. There is darkness, and especially as empaths, we have to be aware of that, we have to understand it, and we have to not be any kind of naive about it, and we have to acknowledge that there is dark energy, and we have to be careful who we surround ourselves with. That's, for example, I give you an example. You as a woman always fall for the guy who is like the bad boy, right? That's me, right? Straight up. That was me for like, I always had a crush. I either had crush and I never, would take a leap of faith or would make a step because I was like, oh no, I'm not good enough for any of partnerships or whatever. And then I would fall for the bad guy, for the guy who's like the bad boy, who's like trouble and it's so dangerous and exciting, right? There's an entity in you, and that's the fact for a lot of people, that like they feel important when there's struggle. And if you have an entity, it will always guide you towards struggle, towards fighting, towards exhaustion, towards like, I'm not good enough for real love, and towards shitty jobs, or or places where people are mobbing you. Like, mobbing is a great sign of when you don't do anything wrong, and people, or bad luck, or people are mobbing you, people are like nitpicking on you, that's a great sign of entity attachment. And what else? Yeah. And I urge you, for example, I felt like all my life I had so many guides and so many like great gut and intuitive feeling, and God was with me, right? And maybe I had 99 guides and 100 like entities, or like 10 guides and 11 entities, and that one entity would always like guide me towards shitty situation, and I could cry if I wouldn't feel that numb and stressed and exhausted and just shocked basically of what I got myself into, because I didn't listen to that. Or maybe it was one angel that was really strong and one guide and like one more entity, or like really strong entity that always thought I had to suffer. And I had everything, and I still have everything in the world, like loving people, help, support, whatever. And there was this one entity that really wanted me to not succeed. And that's when we're not aware of it. We go to places and people are mobbing us. We go to places and the owner is shitty and hits on us and we have to quit. We go to places and the money is shitty. Or we go to places and all of a sudden like they close. Or we have a new job and people are mobbing us, and we have a new job and the boss is shitty, and all these, or we like, I don't know, like just bad luck all the time. And you feel like, what the heck? Seek yourself a great energy healer if you have these symptoms, because chances are it's really not your fault, and it's really not your on you. Because you could listen to your gut, but maybe your entity is so loud that you think your entity is your gut. And that's the worst. That's because my entity got really loud. So I thought, oh, it's guiding me away from people. And I knew like my soul needed people and wanted people and felt isolated and wanted to be around people. But my entity was guiding me away. I was doing a yoga teacher training. I was like, great, these are great people, I want to like spend time with them. But every time my entity was telling me to leave because it wanted me to be isolated. That could also be a great symptom of a curse. So if you are cursed and you feel isolated and alone, and like there's a voice that keeps telling you to do things and like and it wouldn't be an issue, you know, like if I would have learned these things without my physical symptoms at the moment, life would be so great. Like, okay, I learned all these things, amazing, what can I do with it? I become an energy healer and try to heal people from their entities as well. But I suffer from great symptoms after that, and after I didn't recognize the entity and the curse. Entities can kill you because, for example, if an entity and entities a lot of times attached to a chakra, so your third eye, your head, your throat. Your throat is your neck, you know, like your throat chakra, and your neck is a really dangerous place to hurt. Your neck is a really dangerous place to have an entity. You can have it in your heart, of course, and in your stomach. I wish I had it in my stomach. Like, I don't know what I probably would just have diarrhea or whatever, right? Or like severe pain in my stomach, or fear or anxiety or anger. But if you have it on your neck and you automatically, or like you injure your neck, it can just like be really dangerous and shitty. And you didn't, like, for example, I injured my neck, and and it can, and I didn't reflect on how dangerous of a place it is to injure your neck, right? So I injured my neck. I started to go numb and paralyzed in my body. I don't feel this anymore, and my legs as well. So I can't walk far anymore. And this is what happened because of a curse and an entity. So I urge you, empath, light workers, starseed, protect your energy and listen to your gut, who is good for you. And then, because those people might be into black magic, and then shit is getting real. And I never thought I would say that, and I never thought I would say I got cursed, or and don't make it like, and be really, 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 really conscious and aware. And I consider myself, oh fuck, dead bird, that's also bad luck. And I urge you to be conscious. I consider myself a really conscious person, really, like, honestly, like, really conscious, really aware of everything in my body. And my heart is broken, and my spirit is not broken, but my heart is really, really, really hurt. Yeah. So, yeah.